guys, it's Amy for 7 on Sunday. Just saying, before I get in the video, I feel like I should acknowledge the fact that I have short hair now. I wanted to cut it short and I really do like it, but I'm also kind of annoyed because they did such a bad job of actually cutting my hair. It's a hairdresser's that I've gone to before and I know that they're not the best hairdressers, and it's kind of like whenever I go shopping in Canberra, I will go to this hairdresser's because I can just basically walk in and get my hair cut and it's just so easy and so simple. And I wanted to get it like collarbone length, which is pretty much what I got, but they just did such a hacking job this time because they literally cut my hair in one layer and pretty much were done. And I did get layers and they're just holding bits up and snipping them. And like I kind of came out of it and it just felt very choppy. But also for the fact is that I really don't suit straightened hair. I just have my natural amount of like frizz and natural amount of curl, and that looks normal. So the like sharpness of how straight it was to how bad the cut was just so crazy. And for like 3 days now I've just been really sad. And even yesterday I actually cut some of it myself because it was in crooked angles and I had to cut bits off the front, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel, but like it's just different. And like even now it's like you can tell these bits are just slightly longer and I'm just like not a fan. But like I also don't know where my hair's gone. I don't know how to feel. Like I had pretty long hair before, right? Like I'll have to go look back on one of my videos where I actually had my hair out, but like it's different, but it's short. But change is good, but also like, is it too much? But besides my hair appointment issues, I've actually been so busy on my days off that I'm literally filming this after I've gotten home from work one afternoon, just so that I can make sure I get the video out. I'm not even going to upload another video this week because too much was going on, because I spent the whole day in Canberra, and then my other day off I went to see my friend who recently had a baby, and I got to see her little boy and he's so cute, like oh my god. And also my cousin also had her baby today, so there's a lot of babies and a lot of shopping happening, and I still want to join in. And 7 on Sunday this week is talking about our favorite fictional couples, and I'm very keen to talk about this because I just love talking about couples, because they're like my favorite thing about reading books is when people fall in love, and it's just so good and I ship it so hard. Some of these are like all-time favorites and some of them are new couples that I've like only kind of more recently discovered, but I'm excited to get into the list and just talk about some couples that I really like. So it's a given that Feyre and Rhysand are going to be on my list because literally they are like my favorite couple and my favorite people individually. Like I love them so much. Part of the reason I love them so much is they were such an unexpected couple, and I did not know that I was going to ship them because I really did not like Rhysand when I started the series, and I will admit to the fact that I kind of hated him because he was the bad guy and he was evil and he was giving off the Darkling vibes, and you know the Darkling doesn't get good, so I thought the same thing was going to happen with Rhysand. And then we get to Akamath, which is one of my all-time favorite books, and it just bloody hits you and it's like, oh my god, they're perfect for each other. And I just like the way that he just is like so patient and he just waited so long for any type of attention from Feyre, and it's just like the cutest. And like Feyre loves him so much and he loves her so much, and they are just such a solid couple, and they are literally always going to be one of my favorite couples. Like if you ever ask me, I will mention them because they are just a solid unit and I just love them. So for a new favorite couple, I have to talk about Alex and Henry from Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, because damn, if you have not picked up this book yet, I don't know what you're doing. And I also recommend listening to the audiobook because Henry's accent is just chef's kiss and really made the story for me because he's so British and I loved it so much. But please pick this up in whatever format you want, but I'm recommending the audiobook. But like these guys have to deal with so much, and for the fact that it's so unique because, you know, Crown Prince of Wales, the president's son, these boys fall in love when they shouldn't, and it's just so good. And the way that their relationship builds over the course of the story is just written so well, and this is one of the main reasons I'm so excited for One Last Stop, because I think her new book is going to have the same type of relationship where it's going to build so well and it's going to be such a solid structure of a relationship, and I just can't wait for that. But like these boys just love each other so much and it's so beautiful, and I just I love them so much, and like they have my whole heart. Okay, an old favorite has to be Sydney and Adrian from the Bloodline series by Rochelle Mead. This is the relationship that I always mention from this series. Like Rose and Dimitri are like great and everything, but like I kind of feel like they're a bit basic in a sense, and I don't mean to be cutting at that series because I still really enjoyed their relationship and the way that it built up. But for some reason I've always gravitated towards Adrian and Sydney's relationship because it feels way more forbidden, and Sydney has a lot more to kind of deal with because she's an alchemist and he's a vampire and there's a lot to overcome. come, and I just feel like the drama was more real. I was behind everything going on with these guys, and I also liked that this was way more of a slow build, because Adrian and Sydney didn't really start connecting until the second half of the series, but I feel like with Rose and Dimitri it was kind of like from the get-go. So I just like these guys, and they're just so cute, and honestly every time a new book came out I was so excited to read more about them. And honestly after the 5th book, when everything kind of hit the fan, I was like, oh! And then the 6th book happened, and like so many great things happened in that book, and it's just like so good. Like I just love them so much, and they are definitely a nostalgic relationship for me, but I'm always gonna love them. Next I want to talk about Emma and Julian from the Dark Artifices by Cassandra Clare. Oh my god. And you know what's exciting, guys? If you didn't know, because I've talked about it on Goodreads and Twitter, but I'm actually reading this book. Like, it's actually happening. I'm 400 pages in. Like, I've read this much. I've read this much of this book. It's been like 3 weeks, but I'm reading it. Like, I'm reading it, and I knew I had to put these guys on my list because my love is being rekindled from rereading this and seeing the struggle, because the struggle is so real because they're para-batai, and you're not meant to fall in love with your para-batai, but it's happening. And of course this was always going to be a series that we needed because we needed the drama, but Emma and Julian are such a solid pair, and even though they shouldn't have become para-batai, like they were meant to be in each other's life. Like they have such a beautiful bond, and they have such a strong friendship, and they really have developed a relationship from their friendship, which is just so beautiful. And it's just such a unique like situation and relationship, because like Julian is basically a father of 4 kids, and he has to look after his whole family, and then when shit kind of hits the fan with everything, and like, you know, characters coming into the story and everything, I'm trying to be vague because I don't know how much stuff is actually a spoiler or not, but Emma is also there to support him, and they just support each other, and they're so cute. And I really think the angst of the 2nd book is just like kills me, and I don't even know what happens in the 3rd book with their relationship. Like, I'm going to assume that they're probably going to figure out everything and be able to be with each other, because I don't think Cassandra Clare would like F it up that badly, but I haven't seen them happy yet. Like, I know that they're just like so in love with each other, but I haven't seen them happy, and that is what I'm pumped for, because it's gonna be good. Next I have to talk about Charlie and Nick from the Heartstopper comics by Alice Oseman, because they are the most adorable couple I've ever read, and they're only little babies, because Charlie's like 14 in the 1st book and Nick's 16, and they're just so little and cute, and I love them so much. But I honestly just ship the romance of them so much, because they start out as friends, and Charlie has a crush on Nick, and Nick doesn't actually know that he likes guys at this point. He kind of has to like figure out his sexuality of like, does he like Charlie as a friend, or does he like him as more? And Charlie doesn't really know what to do because he was outed at his school, and it's kind of like really hard for him to like connect with people anymore, and he gets very anxious about things. But then like Nick's like this big dude that comes in here as like this footy player, and he's just like so protective of Charlie, and I just love it so much. Like, they're so cute, and they have such a cute friendship, and it's so cute to actually like see it play out through photos. And I am beyond pumped for volume 4, and even though I know we've got some tough times coming, I'm keen, because they are just little beans and they're so cute. And seriously, you need to pick up these comics to experience their love, because it's just so innocent and pure, and I love it. Another new couple that really took my heart last year and was one of my favorite books of last year, but Bryce and Hunt from House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. So another Sarah J Maas couple on this list. Honestly, I could have put Aelin and Rowan on this list as well, but part of me is still stingy for what they did to Kale. And I know that this is what Sarah J Maas does, is that she bloody has the relationship that you think's gonna happen, and then 2 books later she kills it. So I'm concerned about this book, because I'm so attached to Bryce and Hunt's relationship that I am very concerned that she's gonna ruin it. And I can see the potential candidates that it could end up being, but they're already like so solid and so like, I would die for the other person at this point, that I don't know how there could be anyone better. But again, I really appreciate this story because it's a very long book, so it takes a long time for the relationship to develop between these two. They hate each other at the beginning, but then they start to respect each other, and then they become friends, and they're actually friends for a solid amount of this book before it turns into anything else. And I feel like her other relationships never really did the friendship thing, it just went straight to the romance side of things, and I think they have such a solid foundation. And I just love that Hunt really made Bryce feel alive again, and Bryce was really able to like break the chain of Hunt only going on missions and not really having much of a life. And in different senses, they both broke each other out of the ruts that they were in, and even though it's like obviously totally different situations that are happening, but they just like are such solid people apart, but they work so well together, and I just love them so much. And it just, oh, like I just really want the second book, but I've got to keep that at the back of my mind because I don't want to get too excited because I still have to wait until November for the second book, and I don't know if that's going to be pushed back. I don't know if stuff's like not going to work there, but oh, like I just love them so much, but I am very concerned that it could end badly because I know Sarah J Maas's record. And the last couple I want to talk about is Audrey Rose and Thomas from Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. This is one that like really was kind of unexpected to me because when I first read this book, I did hear mixed feelings about people really liking the story or either really hating it. So it's a very like polarizing read, but thank God I absolutely loved these books because they are just written so well, and every book that kept coming out I was more and more excited to see where the story was going to go. And I just think that Audrey Rose and Thomas really fit well together, and I know Thomas is a bit more out there and a bit more starkier than Audrey Rose, and he does kind of put her in uncomfortable situations sometimes, but he really brought her out of her shell in a sense. And I know that she was already a strong, confident woman beforehand, but she was able to still be strong but with this like amazing partner, and I just love that so much. And just they just fit so well, and they just had so many cute moments that just had me so hyped and simping for their relationship, you know. So I just love them, but I'm so sad that I can never read anything new from them. Like I can always reread these books, but it's not going to be something new, and that makes me sad. But all I know is like I have the memories of just how much I love them. So there is a lot of favorites in this list for me though, because like I find that couples and romance and relationships is what really makes a book for me. Like it is interesting to read books without romance, but I feel like it's just what I'm always going to gravitate towards because I just love watching them interact and fall in love with each other slowly. Insta love is kind of more annoying. Like even though I still want them to be together, it's like, dude, it's too soon. But these ones really had good burns in them, and I just love them so much. Okay guys, so that is all for today's topic, and this is always a really fun one to make. Like I remember when I did my top 5 Tuesdays, I always got really excited because probably like once a year I'd redo like my top 5 OTPs, my top 5 characters, my top 5 series and books and all these things. So these are always good to like see how your opinions change on these type of things. But like as I said, a lot of these couples have been on my list for many years, and some of them are new ones that I'm just really excited about. And the thing I love about reading those so much is I have 400 unread books on my shelf, and that is 400 new couples that I could become obsessed with. And like I don't even know it yet. Like there's so many books that I haven't picked up yet that I know I really want to read, and like once I read them I'm gonna just be simping over that romance and over them couples and over them relationships that, as I said, by this time next year I could have a totally new list of people that I would become obsessed with. And I feel like that's just one of the beauties of reading, because there's just so much unknown and it's just so amazing. And just like, oh, I'm just so excited now. Like I just want to keep reading, like especially Lady Midnight, because like damn, I'm getting to the point where some good shit's about to happen but also some bad shit, and I definitely think I want to keep going. Like I want to read Lord of Shadows, and hopefully I'm going to keep up with it. Like I'm reading at the moment but not a lot. Like I still haven't actually finished a book yet, and I have a book that I bought that I thought I would have read by now, but because Lady Midnight's like kind of captivated me, maybe I'll read that book that I just recently bought and then I will go to Lord of Shadows. I feel like that's the plan. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!